Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas. Christmas is an everyday thing. We just have to find it. Christmas is an everyday thing. We just have to find it. More about that in just a moment. Well, I want to share with you I always usually get some toys for Christmas, although this year I did not. I did not get any toys, but I do have some from previous years. I always like to share a few of these. It's interesting what people will give me. All right. Now, this was a few years ago here. Okay. Why did the person give me this? I don't know. I have no idea. No idea. All right. This one I shared last year, but I still love it. I am your father. There you go. All right. These are some good ones too here. All right. Yeah, I see. Now it's okay. And the last, which of course is my favorite. Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying, Father. It's not loaded, is it? No. Ooh, it is loaded. Look at that. How far can I get? All right. Better not do that. All right. Well, I hope St. Nicholas is good to all of you. Certainly it is. It's a joy to receive, but we all know it's better to give. And I hope you've had an opportunity to do that. When we look at our scriptures, and we look at the solemnity that we're celebrating today, and this is the way I'm putting it. Christmas is an everyday thing. We just have to find it. What do I mean by that? Well, what is, certainly we're not constantly celebrating the solemnity. We're not constantly getting these gifts and giving and those types of things. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the true meaning of Christmas and what we received as humanity when Christ came to us in the flesh. He came to reconcile us to the Father. He came so that we would know that we are loved, that we were created in love, and that He pursues us with a personal, passionate, unrelenting love. And it unfolds in a number of different ways, but in a powerful and true way. Well, I'll put it in three different ways. The first one is how many people have seen Home Alone? Okay, only 7 people. All right, so yeah. Now, how many people do not like to raise their hand during homilies? All right, so a few people. Good. All right, so I think most of us have seen Home Alone. Now, sure, the kid survives even though he's home alone and very young. Yes, he defends and does it in a funny type of way. But really, the crux of the movie is his relationship or his friendship that he begins with the gentleman next door. See, he had preconceived notions. They all did, all the kids did, about the old man next door. There were all kinds of rumors and other types of things. And he still embraced those to a point where he was afforded an opportunity to make a choice. And he extended a sense of friendship, and it was reciprocated. And they began to talk, and funny enough, it was Kevin, the child, who imparted the wisdom. Remember, wisdom is to think clearly, to judge rightly, and to act decisively. And the old man talking, and he said, well, I haven't seen my son in a long time. I haven't seen my grandchild in a long time. And they just went back and forth. And it turns out that both of them, both he and his son, were filled with pride. They wanted to blame, and they weren't going to take the first step. And again, Kevin just kind of unfolded things for him. He's like, maybe you need to do that. Maybe you need to be the first one to take the step. And, he thought about it for a while, and really that's where the movie ends. I mean, there's all kinds of things. Sure, the family comes back and all these other types of things, but really, Kevin turns and he sees the old man, and there in his arms is his grandchild, and his son's kind of walking in the path there. He had done it. He had swallowed his pride, and in fact, he took the step out into the breach and said, I'm sorry, which is so hard for us to say in a lot of ways. That can happen every single day of the year, and it is the true meaning of Christmas. He's come to reconcile us with the Father, and then now we become an instrument of that reconciliation. When we possess ourselves in such a way as we step forward into the breach. Another one. Another movie. Which one is this? Mary, what do you want, Mary? You want the moon? I'll give you the moon. I'll lasso the moon. I'll bring it right. Don't you recognize me, Mary? What movie? It's a Wonderful Life. Yes, It's a Wonderful Life. Again, here, George Bailey is given a very rare opportunity. George, you've been given the opportunity to see what life in the world would be like if you never existed. And the reality is that each and every person here, each and every one of us, makes a palpable difference in the world. And we very often don't think about that, or we minimalize our significance. How about we embrace the reality of how wonderfully generous God has been to us in every one of those instances, and relish it. And also realizing that I have a purpose and that I need to fulfill that purpose. When that happens every single day, then that's Christmas. God coming to us and lavishing us with his goodness. Third thing, you may have read this on the internet. It was an instance, I believe, in 2002. An individual, a young man who had just visited his mother, and now he's going to bring back a Christmas ham for his brother back to Milwaukee. So he's got the ham, puts it in a box. He goes to the airport. He gets on the plane, puts it up into the overhead compartment, and he sits down, and he's sitting next to a father who has a 2-year-old little girl, and a 7-year-old boy. And they start talking and become fast friends. Well, the airplane sits on the tarmac for about 45 minutes, and both of them are getting very nervous. They're flying to Detroit. Dad's got to go to Chicago. He's got to get those kids to Chicago. And again, the young man's going to Milwaukee. So as the plane does take off, and as it's beginning to land, they find out that the gates will be very close. So his plane taking off again to Chicago, and his plane taking off to Milwaukee. So the father says, I'm not going to make it. Not with these kids, not with this luggage. And at that point, the young man says, I'll help you. And he goes, no, you need to get to your gate as fast as you can. And he goes, no, we're close enough. I'm going to help you. And he thanked him, and the plane landed and everybody disembarked, including the young man who was out there waiting impatiently. And he thought to himself, what did I get myself into? He's waiting. Well, the father had a stroller, and so the stroller had special storage or whatever. So finally he got the stroller, he comes out, and the man can't believe it. He sees him, and he says, I'm so sorry. You should have just left. And he said, no, we're in this. We're in this together. So the little girl gets in the stroller. The boy has this big duffel bag that he's carrying. The father has also a bag that he's carrying, and he's pushing the stroller, and the young man is pulling some luggage and then also carrying something else. Well, what do we do with the ham? All right, well, he sets the ham on top of the luggage, and they all just take off running. But they got to constantly stop because the ham keeps falling to the ground. So they run and run and run, and the ham falls, and so they pick it back up. And finally, the father says, "Stop." And he turns to the little girl, and he goes, "Get out of the stroller." And he goes, "Take the ham and put it in the stroller." So he puts the ham in the stroller, and now the little girl is running as fast as she can with her little two-year-old legs, and everybody is running, and they make it. So, well, then some hugs and stuff, and goodbye, and, well, they probably never see each other again. But the experience, as the young man thought, and he was able to take the ham to his brother and to experience a great Christmas dinner and gifts and other types of things. But the most significant thing for him that Christmas was a realization that he stepped out and was willing to help somebody, even when he knew it was going to be difficult. In the experience, especially when we were just looking to relax. Right? Let's just take some time. Everybody needs a little bit of time, and now all of a sudden somebody needs help. See, there's where Christmas can happen every single day, but we just have to find it. How's it going to happen for you? Is it just going to be eating a meal or opening a gift? Or will it be a moment where one of us steps forward and bridges the gap, says, "I'm sorry," and maybe even begins the relationship anew? Or maybe for us, it's going to be taking a step back and realizing, yeah, I want this, and I want that, and I want this, and I've got these goals, and it's like, wow, there's so much to be thankful for. And I'm just going to take some time and just relish each thing that I'm so grateful for, and to realize I have a purpose, and I'm making a difference, and that's why God's placed me here. Or maybe tonight, this morning, tomorrow, you're going to get that phone call, and somebody's going to ask for help, and you're going to set aside some things, and you're going to step out, and you'll give of your time. Yeah, Christmas, it's an everyday thing. We just have to find it.